Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Just wait maybe a couple of minutes just to let everyone in. Alessandro, please tell me when everyone is accepted at the start. Good afternoon, Michele. Alessandro, we start.
Yeah, people keep joining, but we can start, I guess. And I will admit them step by step.
You have an echo,
Yeah.
so you have to shut off the microphone.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can start. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Claudio Colombo, and I'm the program director here at Venezia. So welcome and thank you to be part of this demo day for the second year of Venezia Innovation Program. I'd like to start this event introducing Professor Carlo Bagnoli, which is the founder and the scientific director at Venezia. Carlo.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, and thank you for the introduction. I don't want, how I can say, to occupy too much time. I want only to say welcome and to thank our corporate partners, so Eni, Enel, Cisco, Mundis, Atlantia before, and help me, Snam, okay? So thank you for our corporate partner that make Venezia ambition and Venezia project alive, okay? And I think that we can start with the pitch to analyze if we have made a good job or not good job in the second program that we have launched. Thank you, and good pitch.
Thank you, Professor. So before the pitch, I would like to just introduce our partners, so the partner of this 2022 program. So I would like to start with Domenica Surace, which is the head of impact assessment, monitoring and reporting at Enijoule. If Domenica. I don't see Domenica. No?
Yes,
Okay.
Claudio, just
yeah.
one sec. She's coming. Just a moment, please.
Okay, but if we want, maybe we can start with Antonino, which I can see you in the screen. So Antonino is the head of Innovation Hub Italy of Enel. So Antonino, if you want just to say something.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Claudio, for inviting me. And here in Enel, it is the second year for us with the Venezia, and we both on the first program and on the second program, we found interesting solutions. So we decided to join also for the third program. So we'll be also partner for the next program. So since one of the main purpose of Enel is to find solution on sustainability. So for us, accelerator on sustainability in Italy with both national scope and international scope for us is really important and in line with our business needs. So again, all our business needs are sustainability related. Each one is all the innovation that we do. We do innovation with the purpose, with the scope to make our activity always more sustainable. So again, work with a sustainable accelerator for us is important, and I confirm that we'll keep on also on the next year. So thanks, and I'll really happy to assist to the pitch.
Thank you, Antonino, and it's a pleasure to have you as a partner again. And we will speak later, just very quick about the program, the next program, so the third year's program of 2023. So now I would like to introduce Stefania Ratti, which is the head of innovation at INVIS.
Hello, Claudio. Hello, Carlo, and all the startups present today. I'm here to represent Mundys, a holding company active in the mobility sector in 24 countries worldwide. We operate airports, motorways, and we offer mobility services in 600 cities around the world. And moving towards smart, sustainable, and integrated mobility, of course, innovation and sustainability are the levers of our strategic plan. And we have found in Venezia a perfect combination of these two levers. And we have had the opportunity to investigate many interesting solutions together. So we're looking forward to go on with this path with you.
Thank you very much, Stefania. And now I think Domenica is joined us. So just introduce Domenica Surace, which is the head of impact assessment, monitoring and reporting at Enijaul.
Hi, Claudio. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here for the third year. Jaul is Eni School of Sustainable Entrepreneurship, and together with Eni, of which we are a unit, we are very happy to be here and to support Venezia Accelerator and this initiative. For the first, because we are a company with a long history in Venezia. We are present with our biorefinery in Porto Marghera, and second, because we are very engaged in innovation issue and in innovation solution in order to decarbonize our territory and our country and our planet. So Venezia for us is a good opportunity in order to find a new solution and to build new synergy and partnership with the other corporate and also with the startups and with all the stakeholders in order to build a value chain completely decarbonized. So for that reason, I'm happy to introduce my colleague Stefano Fasani, that is OpenS manager in Eni, and I think Stefano will introduce to all the people our OpenS platform. Please,
yes,
Stefano.
Yes, thank you everyone. It's an honor for me to be here with you. Just a very, very short introduction, just to highlight how innovation and collaboration, in our perspective, are two key concepts in this path for the sustainable development of the entire value chain. I want just to highlight you, and also with the startups, we already have the occasion to have some presentation regarding the OpenS initiatives. OpenS wants to be exactly an open alliance to help all the companies, all the players around the value chain to start a sustainable development path. We see also from an industrial point of view that the connection between the small and medium enterprises, or more generally the companies across the value chains, and the innovation players, and so especially universities, research centers, and startups are a key success factors in this direction. So this is the reason why we decided to launch this kind of alliance, in order to bring all the different industry perspective in only one place in only one platform, and we are more than happy to understand the solutions that will be presented during the today meeting, and to understand if there are some synergies to put in place and to find solution also for the value chain in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, both Domenica and Stefano. So now I would like to go through to Cisco. I don't know if Anna Testa, you are already in the call, because she told me that probably she'll arrive a few minutes later. Here. So okay, so we can go on. Cecilia Visibelli, which is the head of open innovation at Snam, which is another partner of the program.
Hello, Claudio. Hello, Carlo. It's an honor to be with you, with all of you today. And this is the third year we are joined the Venezia Accelerator, because in Snam we believe that innovation is the ability to face the future. We are working on a program, on an open innovation program that is called Snam Innova, and we are working on 3 pillars: the internal innovation. So we created a contest for all the colleagues. We are working on the culture, innovation culture. So we create a community of innovation ambassadors who promote the culture inside the company. And we are working on the external innovation. We created lots of challenges to face the energy transition challenge. And this is the reason why we joined the Venezia Accelerator for the third time. And we met lots of very interesting startups. For example, in the first year, we met Carborem, and we made a POC with very excellent results. And now we are trying to scale this solution on our biomethane plants. In the second year, we met lots of deep tech startups working on the transport and storage of CO2. And we know that these are very early stage technologies, but we want to support more this kind of evolution. So for the third year, we want to look at some startups, so always working on the energy transition, carbon storage, and the transport, biomethane production, the energy storage, and we really want to work with you and with the startups we will see today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Cecilia. And now I'm not sure if Anna arrived in the call. If not, I can start just to present the results of so what we have done in the last program, so we can understand what are the startup and introducing to the pitch. So I'm not sure if I can share my screen. Yeah. Yes. Alessandro, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So basically, what we have done, this as I told you before, this is the second program of the second innovation program on climate change and circular economy of Venezia. So what we have done is we started from 7 main challenges gave from the corporation partners. So we had low carbon mobility, innovative and sustainable materials. We had stakeholder engagement and social acceptance, data analytics and smart prediction to fight climate change, sustainable supply chain, circular economy and waste management, and smart cities and communities. So we started scouting, an international scouting, so worldwide, and we found almost 4,000 startups, and we selected the best 29. So 29 startups entering in the program. Of course, you can see our partner that they presented before, and every partner choose a startup in order to do a pilot together. So the goal of Venezia is starting from the challenges, find the best solutions, so the best startups, put together with the corporation with the goal to do a project together. And for this year, the last program, we had 6 finalists. So Servest, which was chosen by Eni, Joule, Enel, which chose Upcycled and Due di Latte, both Italian startups. Servest was a UK startup. And then Cisco chose Next to Me, Mundys chose Bupaga, and Snam chose Jess, which is green energy storage. And so now all the startups and other startups of the program will present the solution very soon. But I would like to introduce you to the next program, so the 2023. So basically tomorrow we will open the new call for the startups. So we already put the challenges on our website. The call will be open for 2 months, so up until till the 31st of May. Then we have 3 months of selection, and then in November we will start the new program with the goal to select the finalist startups by the end of the year and start the POC on the 1st of January 2024. And then, of course, will be the demo day, as this year will be April 2024. So now, before starting the pitches, I would like to see if Anna is here, and of Cisco, Anna Testa.
Yes, she is.
Okay, Anna. I can't hear. Okay, so we can start. Maybe Alessandro, if you want to explain how will work this demo day, and then Anna will be here. Then we will speak with her.
Okay, I require to Anna to being able to switch her Microsoft on. So I hope Anna will join soon. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm very pleased to meet you. I'm Alessandro Manfredi, scouting analyst in Venezia. So I helped Claudio scouting these amazing startups this year. So we have 18 startups today, pitching 5 minutes each. We decided to separate the Q&A session in order to let this event run quickly and efficiently. I ask kindly to Giovanni to share in the chat a form. You will find it useful to share your thoughts about the startups. I can briefly show you how this form works. So just 1 second to share my screen. Okay, so are you able to share, to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So after this brief introduction, general introduction, where I kindly ask you to insert your email, so join with Google, you will find one sheet for every startup pitching in order. So since the first service to the latest, and you can rate from 1 to 10 the product or solution of the startup, so the core of the startup, the idea, degree, innovation, the scalability and the team, and an overall degree at the startup. At the end, specifically for partners and investors, I ask you to put yes if you are really interested in investing and talk with the startup about a possible investment, a potential investment, and specifically for company who would like to develop a pilot together, to mark yes this section in order to manage in a second moment the connection, the matchmaking between you as a company and the enabler startup. At the end, we collect all the questions regarding a specific startup. So in this case, all the questions you would like to address to Servest, we will collect them, we'll send them to the startups, and we'll manage the reply and the answers in order to manage this Q&A section more efficient. And so I guess that's all. If Anna, 1 second that
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. So Anna, I give you the stage.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi, Anna. Is just to introducing Anna is the innovation and digital transformation specialist at Cisco, which is another partner. So Anna, if you want to say hi to everyone.
Yes, thank you everybody. And I'm super glad and super happy to have joined this program. In Cisco, we truly believe that Venice is a beautiful place where we could, let me say, arise innovation box. And so we are happy to collaborate with this program. As you might see, for Cisco, sustainability, innovation, and sustainability are top priorities of our, let me say, business model. And we have been happy to meet next to me in this acceleration program, and we are trying to figure out how we could integrate our technology with the solution on NFCME in order to track people among any places in the universities or in the city of Venice, and correlate some KPIs with the sustainability KPIs as well. If I have to appreciate the best things that I have appreciated about Venice is the quality of the startups. So congratulations to all the startups that joined the program, but also to Claudio and the team. The quality of the deal flow was super high. So thank you very much, and sorry for the delay.
No, thank you, Anna. No, it's a pleasure to have Cisco in this program, absolutely. And okay, so Alessandro, if you want, we can start with the pitches and so the main reason for this event, which are the startups.
Okay, thank you very much. Diletta, can you hear me? I saw you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I wasn't able to find you. Okay, thank you very much. So I leave you the stage. You should be able to share your screen.
Okay.
Is it correct? Okay. So I give you 5 minutes to pitch. And please, I ask you everybody to use the question section at the end of the upcycled page. So the second sheet, since the Servest didn't connect yet, and to collect all the questions to Diletta. Thank you very much.
Okay, I can start. Can you hear me and see?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so hi everybody, my name is Diletta Pollice. I'm one of the co-founders of Upcycled, the digital platform that turns waste into profit through creativity. Okay. Unfortunately, today, the textile industry is one of the most polluting in the world. Every second, the equivalent of a rubbish truckload full of textile waste is burnt or burned into landfill. This is mainly because less than 1% of the material used today in clothing production is then recycled into new clothing. And this also represents a loss of around $100 billion for companies every year. Additionally to this, young designers have difficulty in emerging within the fashion industry because most of the profit, 97% of the economic profits of the whole industry, are earned by just 20 companies. And this makes it very hard for them to have visibility within the sector. Our mission of Upcycled is to accelerate the circular economy by simplifying the process of upcycling and turning waste into profitable, beautiful, and sustainable products. Today, the fashion industry works in a very linear way. We take from nature, we produce, we use, and we throw. But it doesn't have to be like this. Through the circular economy, especially through upcycling, We don't mean recycling, but we mean upcycling, which means taking a material which is considered waste or defective and turning it into a product which has higher value through creativity. Upcycled is the platform that gives new life to waste, turning it into new, unique products through upcycling. Within our first year and a half, we founded Upcycle in July 2021. We have done different activities such as temporary stores where we help designers sell the items, get to know each other, and we managed to start to create this community of designers who use upcycling as their technique. We also started doing co-branding partnerships where we took defective materials and turned it into materials which could be sold at a higher value through upcycling. And we launched our marketplace to create this community and give more visibility to our designers. Thanks to Venezia, we started doing our co-innovation project with Enel, where we're going to rework their workwear into new gadgets and items for the office of Enel. And these are just some examples, since it's ongoing process of what we could do, but the ideas are infinite through creativity. Our team, this is our team of co-founders. I have experience in business and worked in the fashion industry, and Valentina is a fashion designer who instead has experience in graphic design and UX UI, and then we have an advisor. We believe that today the fashion industry is growing through different business models, and remake is one of the main ones. And within 2030, according to this BCG study, the value of the market is going to be around 16 billion. And right now we're looking for our first pre-seed round of around 200K, mainly to invest in tech and people to work within the company, and marketing and events, of course, to increase our market share. We believe today is the right moment to invest in upcycling, not just because we're seeing that circular businesses are redefining growth, but also we believe that creativity can be a main source of innovation. And we also see the European Union is pushing a lot in new legislations to revalue what textile waste actually is and how to insert it into the industries. And also because consumers are always looking for new ways to shop unique and sustainable items. Upcycle means playing a key role in a creative and sustainable revolution that embraces joy and challenges traditional mass production methods. So if, like us, you believe that every waste should actually be a resource, get in contact and maybe we can talk about new projects and collaborations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Diletta. So I give everybody few seconds to collect some questions and to fill our formal evaluation form. In the meantime, Charles, you are co-host, right? So you should be able to share your screen. So Charles Singles from Servest, Strategic Partnerships and Business Development Manager.
Perfect. Alessandro, thank you so much. And thank you for inviting us here today. So yeah, I'm Charles. I lead our European strategic partnerships and very excited to present to you today Servest and the important work we are doing to pioneer a new era of climate intelligence. Servest is about 7 years old. We actually started our journey in the ag tech space, but have massively pivoted into the built environment in the last several years. And having spent 5.5 years in research and development, commercialized off the back of a Series A funding round of 30 million a few years ago, and are now actively working with organizations across the world to help implement climate risk strategies across the board. A little bit about us as a team. So we have about 125 employees. We have a build team that helps keep our technology very much at the cutting edge of climate science, account management and client side team, but also, and most importantly, roughly 45 to 50 climate scientists who work directly for Servest, helping our clients make sense of the climate risk across their business. And we've created this comprehensive climate toolkit to really bring climate intelligence to life. So whether you own or operate built assets, linear assets, natural capital assets, you're able to understand both the physical risks and the transition risks across those and consume it in a manner and a format that works best for your workflow. We've been working with a number of organizations over the last few years to really then embed that climate risk into a range of use cases to help them face these very complex climate-related challenges. Whether you have regulatory pressure to disclose your climate risk in line with frameworks such as TCFD or the emerging EU taxonomy here in Europe, or indeed other frameworks, you can leverage our insights and analytics to embed those into best-in-class, robust and data-driven disclosures. Or indeed, you can put them into a range of other use cases, be it adapting your buildings and your portfolio to become resilient to the ever-changing face of climate change, or just helping with financial optimization, stakeholder management, and a range of other ones. And we were lucky to meet a client of ours through a similar program to this with Venetia not so long ago, helping with some more bespoke challenges as well. We have created a platform that allows you to analyze any assets or points on Earth globally and understand at that location what the risk is across a range of different emission scenarios, physical and transition risk hazard types or signals, and over different timeframes into the future as well. So you can quickly analyze, digest, report on, and act on your climate risk with this decision useful insights as to how climate change will impact your very own operations. It's all based upon the Savess ratings framework, which we have developed over the years, that takes attributes related to your assets and models them across a range of different scenarios, hazard types, and risk indices to create a rating from an A to F scale, and it will showcase where your best climate opportunity is and where your climate risk is as well. Above and beyond that, we do extensive modelling and reporting projects. So if you have more of a bespoke problem related to climate risk, we can help with that as well. So you can embed this best-in-class science-based insight across your workflow. We also dedicate a lot of our resources to enabling knowledge transfer and upskilling for your team. How do you go from being fairly climate illiterate to becoming very climate literate in the future, to really enable you to be a sustainable business and be around in the years to come? I'd love to talk to anyone, any corporates, organizations, any bodies that would be looking to embed climate risk into their own strategy and governance. And here are my email if you'd like to get in touch afterwards. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Charles. In the meantime, since Antonella from Due Dilat is connecting, may I ask you a few words about the pilot test we're developing together?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. So we are working with a very large energy firm through this program to enabling to model wave heights. And it's a desktop program that we're working on together and going very well, Alessandro. So I actually just spoke with our team earlier today. We're working on the project and it looks like it's coming to fruition now. So a really real world example of one of the major problems that are facing one of the organizations you kindly put us in touch with, and how we're able to use climate science and statistical modeling to help solve that challenge.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Antonella, of course, wrote me she's updating Zoom. So I would ask to Federico Roviglioni from Bufaga to join the stage.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, everyone.
Fede.
Hi.
So
Thank you for...
we'll go into the fourth sheet of our evaluation form. Okay, and then I promise we'll go straight until the end without skipping startups. Okay, Federico, are you able to share your screen?
No, I'm not.
Okay, now you will.
So you should see my screen now.
Yes, we do.
Right. So thank you for the invitation again, and happy to be here. And I'm Federico Roviglioni, CEO and co-founder of Bufaga. And actually, as always, before to start, I would like to ask you a question. There is, can a vehicle remove pollution instead of producing it? And why I'm asking this? because unfortunately every year there are almost 7 million premature deaths caused by the atmospheric pollution worldwide. And the solution that we are offering, that is also our motto, is removing pollution by driving vehicles. But how is this possible, you would ask? We have developed a smart device that can be mounted on the roof of any means of transportation, which is able to remove pollutants from the air, so actually cleaning the air, and on the other hand, also to gather important data about pollution level in our cities. But how does it work? Our technology is based on the usage of particulate matter sensors at the entrance and the exit of the device and filter panels in the middle. And we also have a patent pending. So according to our estimation for light vehicles, if we travel for 5,000 kilometers, we are able to remove 22 grams of particulate matter. And it means that we are offsetting 80% net of the emission of that specific vehicle, while at the same time saving 2 lives. But what happened for heavy vehicles? Here there is a really good update for us and good achievements. And since heavy vehicles are bigger, also the device will be bigger, we'll have more capacity and will be so more efficient. And every 5,000 kilometers, we are able to offset 100% of the emission of that vehicle. But on the other hand, we are not just providing a device, but a service at all. So we provide the hardware for pollution removal, the IoT software for data record and visualization, and the report for the environmental impact assessment. So the device has a cost of 800 euros plus a monthly subscription that depends on the number of devices bought by the clients. So we provide maintenance and assistance, data record and visualization, and the environmental impact assessment, as I said before. But what do we mean for data record and visualization? This is an example of the dashboard that we provide to our clients that can collect, monitor, and visualize data real time about the particulate matter removed, the cars removed from the street, the level of air quality, position, or whatever they are interested in. And moreover, the solution can be integrated also inside vehicles for specific customers, like for car sharing and etc., in order to make a sustainable experience. In fact, our target are corporate fleets, public transport, car sharing, and ports and airport shuttles that much suffer the pollution problem. And we already have a good traction, and through the co-innovation program in Venezia that I would like to thank, we got the pilot test with Mundys. So we are going to try our technology, to test our technologies in the airport in Rome, Fiumicino, and we are also really looking forward to testing the devices with Eni. And we got also a lot of interest by different municipalities in Italy and abroad as well. For the market size, our TIM is 240 billion, and our sum is 600 million of euros, considering 1 million vehicles potentially reachable. But why Bufaga is better? First of all, because we are offering a moving solution. So since we mount our device on vehicles, we are able to act in a more larger areas. And also, on the other hand, we can monitor and offset pollutants at the same time, while our competitors cannot do both at the same time. This is the team. There is Serena in the middle. She's the CEO, environmental engineer and experience in project management. Then Simone, Giuseppe, and Luca, the mechanical engineer, and Luca also is a PhD. Francesco, the CMO for marketing and communication, and for languages and communication. We also have advisor and partner. Our advisor is Professor Ugolini at La Sapienza, also president of ACT Engineering. Our industrial partner is Alessandro Trasporti for the production, and we also have the mentors provided by the program that we attended, so such Startup Bootcamp, Elbeton, and of course Venezia. We have closed our pre-seed round of 240K, so half from the Netherlands, for a company in the Netherlands, and half from Next Step, that of course I would like to thank again. And we're going to spend our money especially for production, G&A, research and development, and marketing and sales. And we are now in April, so as I said, we are going to test our prototype, the pilot test in Airport in Rome, in order to reach the market release in September 2023 and start the expansion in the whole Europe in March 2024. And I also really believe that together we can leave a pollution-free planet to future generations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Federico. Could you give us a quick overview of your POC with Mundys?
Yes, of course. It is really important for us because we have the opportunity not only to test specific technologies, but they are really flexible. So we're going to test also different technologies such fixed devices, and of course also the mobile one using renewable energy, electricity. So the really important thing for us is they are really flexible, and also on the other hand, they really believe in what they're doing, and we as well. So we are really happy to be with them for the pilot test. Thank you. Thank you, Stefania.
Thank you very much. Stefania says yes. So wish the best for the startup and of course the success of the pilot test. Thank you, Federico. So I invite Antonella Bellina to join the stage from Due di Latte. Antonella, can you hear me? Okay, Antonella. 1 second since she asked me. Antonella? Okay, 1 second more. Since I can see her here. Otherwise, okay. Let's wait a minute more. And so I ask Donald Mueller, founder and CEO of Solmove, please join the stage.
Yes, hello. Donald is here.
Donald.
And if you like, I could start.
Yeah, yes, you can.
Okay, I hope you can see that picture with the street. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes. Solmove, the idea of Solmove is quite simple. The name says what we try to do. Sol means sun and move means moving. So the idea is to be moved by sun. We developed a special surface for streets. I just want to stop. So maybe you can see this material here that shows a little bit of the new surface for streets and other traffic areas. It's glass, it's solar integrated, and the vision is that we will have on a lot of roads we have all over around the world this solar energy production. Come again here. Yeah. So our modules are able to produce clean energy. They are able to produce heat to melt the snow in wintertime. We also will integrate light to make illuminations or traffic signs within the street. And the vision is that we have one day inductive charging facilities to charge the cars on the street in the first step while parking, and in the second step while driving. We will show that next IAA International Trade Fair in Munich this September. First time where we show how sunlight is able to charge cars while driving over the streets. We already have 4 test installations in Germany, 1 for pedestrians, 1 for bikes, 1 for cars, and another one in a science park. And in the future, we will also address other facilities like railway tracks, horizontal rooftops, and, for example, airports. We are a small team based in Berlin with additional competitions. My name is Donald. I'm a serial entrepreneur. For me, it's the third company I start and grow up. And we had some success in the past. We have inquiries around the world, around 300 qualified interests with a potential of revenue of around 50 million euro. We are in this stage that we are preparing the production and also preparing the exit. And for this last step, we are looking for 3 million euro. We will get grant also. So in addition to that 3 million, we will have 4 million to make this program, to go to production, to go into the market, and to meet our exit partner. That's in a nutshell. And what we like to do in Italy or with this group of potential partners is to show what we are able to do, to show that the world could be a better place if we are able to use all the existing areas we already have. So we would be able to make e-mobility sustainable. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Donald. Okay, would you tell us if you are already developing projects right now?
Yes, we are ready to develop projects. We are able to produce, not in a serial production. That's what we want to do in the future. We need to build up a production line with 25 square meters facilities for a year. So the price for the modules will come down, that we will reach a good return on investments from around 10 years for the modules. And so we are able to give for municipalities and other owners of areas a very good business model where they can earn money and save the earth and clean the air. That's it.
Thank you very much. So wish the best and good luck. Antonella, finally, long awaited. Now you should be able to share your screen since you're a host. And I remember in the meantime to collect, of course, every question for Donald in the 5th sheet of our form. Please, Giovanni, could you send it again, the link, in order to let it fillable to who joined? Antonella, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello,
okay.
Everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, are you able to share your screen?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, here we are.
Okay, perfect. As
Hi,
soon as you're
everybody.
ready, you can start. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I am Antonella Bellina, the founder of 2D Latte, fiber, yarn, and textile natural made by milk and natural fiber and natural stuff. 2D Latte is in response of the problems that actually are involved in this world. The fashion industries is one of the most polluter in the world industries. So there are so many pollution came from fashion. There are no product, real eco-fashion product on this market, and there is no traceability of the raw materials, and the consumer are not totally aware of conscious supply chain. Moreover, the cotton industries is one of the most is one of the industries that make that use a lot of water and of our electricity, and there are a big impact of this of the cotton industries in the fashion industries. If we are also look of the Italian milk market, the quantity of the milk that is wasted in Italy is around 13 million tons per year. Is the same like 50 Olympic swimming pool. This is the waste of the milk in Italy. That's why I created 2D Latte in 2013. 2D Latte is the first Italian company who produced natural and sustainable fibers, recovering and starting exactly from milk waste. How we do? We start with bioengineering, applying to the fashion industries. So we start from the milk waste, we recover it, we extract the casein and the amino acid, and then we make the milk fiber. With this milk fiber, we spinning the yarn, and then we make the textile. Our product so is complete. We start from the raw materials, the milk, rice, and coffee as well. We start from that, we do the yarn, and then we do textile, which is totally sustainable. There are a lot of properties on our product, which means that our product is very soft and light, antibacterial, is totally recycled and sustainable, is natural and breathable. And our way to work is totally focused on health and environment. That's why we work on circular economy, we work with innovation technologies and sustainability. We have a lot of international certification, and we produce everything in Italy, guaranteeing the excellence of our product. The trend of this new vision is important because we are over 7 billion of people, and each of us can make the difference, especially because now is growing the interest on natural product and on eco-sustainable product, and the sales on this product are increased year by year. The market is very huge, especially if we consider that it's just a little slice of the cake of the market of fashion industries. Consider that the size of the eco-sustainable market is 1.23 billion of dollar and is increasing. Our vision is that our milk fabric can be used in several kind of market and industries. Not only fashion, but also automotive, and our new goal is biomedical. In fact, we are working on new patent and new technologies. Actually, our business model is focused on B2B, and we produce milk, rice, and coffee fibers, yarn, and textile. But with the new investment, we can also work on new patent, new product, especially new technologies. Focused on bioengineering and focused on biomedical product. The exit strategy, if you invest on us, can be a lot, especially if you can look on corporate or textile groups or GDO, because we can also work in several parts of this kind of market. So we hope that our idea can work with you. And our team actually is based in Switzerland and in Italy. Our management is in Switzerland, and our production is in Italy. So don't waste milk, wear it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Antonella. Did you talk about your next product? I'm sorry, I need to reply to a startup.
Yeah, my next product is based on a biomedical product. We are looking to build a new patent. Everything can be made in Italy, and the way to work is to start to work with the milk waste directly by the farm and produce with the new technologies, which is the electrospinning. Biomedical test can be made directly from the farm, directly to the final consumer. With a little machine, you can turn the milk in a patch. It's a totally revolutionary technology. We are working on it, and it's for that we are looking for new investment.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So, new investors, please fill the form at the link you will find in chat. Thank you, Antonella, again.
Thank you.
So I invite Eleanor Eisat, founder and team lead at Beworm.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to share. It says that it's still shared by somebody else, so I cannot share.
Yeah, okay. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's go.
All right. So, oops, it's messed up here. Sorry for that. Okay, now you should see my screen, hopefully. So, hi everybody, my name is Eleonora. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Beworm, and we're developing a novel recycling technology for plastic waste. As you all know, plastic waste is one of the biggest issues that we have in the world right now, speaking from an environmental perspective. Globally, we're producing around 390 million tons of plastics every year. And despite we think it gets better, it's actually not getting better. It gets more and more every year. So we have reached a point where we're now, we're now having more than double the mass of plastics in the world than all animals and humans together. So I think this is really a scary number. But on the other hand, all this plastics out there is also an incredible amount of resources that we don't know how to use. That's exactly what we are trying to do at BeeWorm. So we use the power of nature to get access to this resource and to make it usable again. We do that by using microorganisms and other bioagents. So basically, we're using animals and little creatures that adapted to the plastic pollution and developed strategies to decompose plastics. We are focusing on polyethylene, which is the world's most commonly used plastic material. And polyethylene is composed of long hydrocarbon chains. And these microorganisms are able to produce enzymes that can split up this long hydrocarbon chains into shorter fragments. So what comes out of this process are basically oligomers that you can reuse in the plastics industry to produce new plastics. And right now we have found 55 of these microorganisms. And we also discovered a novel bacteria that has never been discovered before. You might think who will be interested in this kind of process. So it's especially interesting, obviously, for the recycling industry because they can process plastic waste into raw materials. But it's also super interesting for the petrochemical industry because what comes out of the process are basic chemicals. And these basic chemicals have the same quality as fossil fuels. So you can fully close the loop by using plastic waste. Other stakeholders that this is interesting for are food brands or anybody in the food sector who's using a lot of packaging and seeks for a solution for their plastic waste. Why do we need it now? Because obviously we're not recycling a lot. Currently we're recycling 7% of all the LDPE, so all the polyethylene with low density out there, which is not a lot. All the rest gets still landfill, burned or littered. And the plastics industry is also a major driver of the climate crisis and pollution of CO2 emissions. Another factor is that we have set very ambitious goals on a political and on a corporate level, and there are not enough technologies out there to fulfill that goals. So we really think that a technology like ours could tap into that gap. Our goal is to bring the technology from the lab to the market. So what we're doing right now is that we're combining different microorganisms. We try to find out how the degradation mechanism works in order to make this more efficient and scale it up. The way it will be scaled up is that it's going to be integrated in the current recycling system by using the same pretreatment method as mechanical recycling. This bioreactor where the degradation happens in the media and the bioagents attack the polyethylene, degrade it to raw materials, and then the output material can be collected in order to produce new plastics or other petrochemical products. Our business model is based on licensing. We're focusing on polymer producers, but also on other petrochemical industry players, on food brands, and on waste management. And our goal is to patent our technology and to sell the license, as well as selling the enzymatic solution, the final cocktail of the bioagents. It's a biotech startup, so our timeline is quite long, so don't get scared. We're currently at TRL of 3, so proof of concept level. We have received a lot of public funding, and now we're going for our first private funding, so for our first pre-seed round. And with the pre-seed round, we want to reach a TLR of 5 to 6. So if you're interested, please let me know. That would be interesting to talk to you. This is our team. Our backgrounds are quite diverse. I myself am an industrial designer, so I'm coming from product development. My co-founders are biologists, so scientists, chemists. Another co-founder comes from finance. So we're quite a mixed team, but we all have the same goal of revolutionizing the world of recycling. So here is our website and our contact. You can also adopt a worm on our website if you just want to give a small contribution. And yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you very much for your fascinating solution. Wish the best, of course, for this long path to a more sustainable world, for sure. And okay, fill the form with questions for Eleanor. And in the meantime, I invite Riccardo Momoli, Business Development Manager at Circular Materials, to join the stage and start pitching. Riccardo, can you hear me? I see you in the chat. Okay.
It's me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alessandro. Sorry, I had issues connecting.
No worries. Thank you for being here. Okay, we can see the screen.
Yes, now I go into presentation mode. And you see everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's
go. Thank you for your time today. I'm going to present you Circular Materials. It's a startup founded in 2019. We're currently 18 people. We already received 2 investments, and we're currently exploring the EIC Accelerator grant, which granted us 5.4 million euros to develop our technology. What we do is we turn industrial wastewater into valuable resources. And we do that because in Europe, there are 3,000 tons of heavy metals being released into the environment and surface water every year. Among those metals, there are critical raw materials such as chromium, copper, nickel, and zinc, and those are materials needed for the energy transition and all the electrical car transitions. And those elements are discharged by surface treatment and other industries in the environment. The problem is that the current wastewater treatment technology focuses on removing those pollutants from the wastewater, not very effectively, as you can see, but also does not focus on recovering those resources. So those resources are simply transformed into insoluble chemicals, compressed, dried, and sent to landfill. We want to change this. So we want to use dissolved metal wastewaters as secondary raw materials. We developed and patented a technology, which is now at its 4th generation. And instead of producing toxic sludges sent to landfill where the metal is lost, we produce chemical powders, metal powders and metal oxide powders that can be used in a circular approach in the same business process. Normally, this is the normal configuration of a wastewater treatment plant. There is a plant installed at the industrial site or a plant installed in a urban wastewater treatment plant. And the problem is that their direct release into surface waters. And the focus, again, is not on recovering the resources, but removing them from the water to send them in landfill. This is a typical make and dispose approach, a very linear value chain that we want to transform. This is an example of the journey of a metal in a surface treatment company. You start with 100 kilograms of copper, for example, being mined. They are then refined into a metal salt, and you already lose 3 kilograms of them into effluent waters. Then you produce a plating bath that's typical for the galvanic plating industry. Most of the object is then gone into the electroplating device. So let's say a coin or a gear or some fashion object or a pen or a card. But then 15% of the initial content of copper is lost to the industrial wastewaters. What we want to restate this circle and create metal salts that can then be reused in the same industrial process. So effectively turning linear value chains into circular one. This is an example of the application of our technology in the surface treatment wastewater sector, but our technology can be applied at several nodes of the raw material value chain. Just a few words on our technology is based on supercritical water. Supercritical water at 374 degrees and 220 bar behaves like a polar solvent. So all the metal that are dissolved in the waste here from 1 to 100,000 ppm, practically become insoluble, and they are transformed into its metal powder or its oxide powder dispersion. So simply we mix the waste with clean water in a patented machine. This is the green one is the zoom in on our patented mixer. And then what you obtain in a simple separation process is clean water and the powder of the metal that can be recovered. I'm not talking only about PNIDs and diagrams and designs. This is a true machine. It is 4 version. It's a 3 × 2 × 2 meter footprint. This unit can process up to 100 liters per hour of metal waste, thus effectively recovering 5 to 20 kilo per hour of metal. This unit is commercial and it's installed at our customers, which can be galvanic plating industry or industrial water treatment facilities. But we have an ambitious roadmap, and we want to apply our technology at different nodes of the raw material value chain. So currently we are here focusing on industrial wastewater effluents, but we believe that current technologies and solutions can help us address other markets, such the electronic waste recycling, such as critical raw materials contained in magnets. And our first market of application under the industrial wastewater is the lithium-ion batteries. This is because our technology can be simply coupled with other hydrometallurgical processes and making our process very relevant for the recovery of heavy precious metals and critical raw materials. To address this technological need, we need an evolving business model. So currently we are renting and selling our units to our customers at their location. We now have applied for a centralized industrial hub in Padova to recover and receive those waste into a single facility to improve CapEx efficiency and to improve energy and other waste heat recover efficiencies. Once we have developed this technology in more modules, we are then ready to license them to some other industrial facilities and recycling sites, such as those for battery recycling, industrial waste recycling, or rare earths and other critical raw material recycling sites. What we're here for and what we're asking you is the opportunity of partnering with us to develop our technology into other niche markets. For example, we recently closed an agreement with Norsk Hydro to process their black mass in order to prove their recycling process of lithium-ion batteries. We're also working with American Copper in the mining industry to recover antimonium, bismuth, and arsenic from their effluents of their mining processes. So what I invite you is to reflect whether you represent an industry or a process or a technology that can be coupled with ours to explore other markets and other segments. And we're ready to partner with you in different ways. We are an award-winning company. As I said, we won the 5.4 million euros grant from the European Innovation Council. We won the Polytech Innovation Award in 2021, and we're currently supported by EIT Raw Materials and ERMA. And the two, we have a venture capital firm, which is 360 Venture Capital, and we also have an equity partner, which is Invest Industrial. So we're ready to grow with you. This is it. So if you have any questions, those are my contacts, and I hope you enjoyed the topic.
Thank you very much, Riccardo. So of course, connect with Riccardo, but also use our form to collect together any question and then to be shared with our startups. Thanks, Giovanni, for sharing the link on the chat again. So now we can go on with Jupiter Intelligence, another amazing startup. So I invite Stuart Larg, Business Development Director at Jupiter.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Stuart Large. I'm with Jupiter Intelligence. Jupiter is a business that was founded in approximately, publicly it launched anyway, in 2018. We've raised nearly $100 million through 3 investment rounds. and we have invested in developing a world-class climate science team. We're unashamedly a science-led organization. But today we find ourselves working with many of the world's top businesses, some of the world's largest banks, insurers, as well as corporates and energy companies and industrials. Two of the world's biggest 5 mining companies, for example, very large oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, it's a long list, as well as working with a number of consultancy partners. So as we think about climate science and its relation to assets, what we find is that the infrastructure that we're using in the world today is built for a world that no longer exists. Climate change is having its effect. And so we are facing potentially trillions of dollars in physical damage, loss, devaluation, and business disruption. Now, the market leading companies are making decisions today based upon information that allows them to actually capitalize and seize opportunities that do exist through this change. Whereas those companies that follow tend to be waiting for the losses to mount, or they're going to be pushed by regulatory disclosure or shareholder mandate. Probably something to avoid. So Jupiter's solution to this is a portfolio of products which allows a business or a bank or an asset holder to analyze how climate change and the physical aspects of that are going to impact the business. So effectively, what we've done through our modeling is to cover the world in fine detail so that we can provide now over 11,000 data fields that describe how climate change is going to impact every area on the Earth's surface. And that's done in 5-year increments through to the end of the century, and for 3 climate scenarios. So this business decision useful data can be used to assess risk, to manage portfolios, to understand potential losses, and to plan for resiliency. And so as you look at your portfolio, you can see where the greatest risks lie today, and also how the risks are going to change over the coming decades. You can compare and benchmark against other assets as well, perhaps whether that be those of your competitors or those of the industry standards, to understand where you are positioned. Now, what's also important is to put some economic impacts to this, understand the situation financially. So we can tell you, first of all, what the hazards are, what will happen, how you're going to be affected by perhaps flooding or heat or wind at your global assets. But then you can look at what the damage might be. So when you're hit with that flood or that wind event, then actually what impact will that have on the assets? Will it cause harm? And then you can financially model that, work out what it will cost you. If you understand that, then you can consider mitigation strategies. What if I invest in some resilience? What if I build my flood defenses? Or what if I make my roof stronger? Then obviously that costs you some money, but how much financial risk are you able to eliminate? I thought you might appreciate seeing some work we've done locally in Italy. Here we're looking at some of the key points in your transport network: seaports, airports, and freight terminals. And as these are analyzed, let's just look at heat as a simple example. We can see those locations which are expected to experience the highest heat, so days above a certain temperature threshold. And you can see as we progress from 2020 through 50 to 75, how more and more of the locations in Italy are exposed to that high heat. Important information to be aware of and to consider. We can also look at this across linear assets, whether this be pipelines or railway lines, roads, as we're seeing here. One of the simple examples here is to think about on a road network, what are the key points, bridges, tunnels, toll booths? Well, we can look at that and we can figure out those locations that are going to be most affected by precipitation, a major rainfall event, for example. And we can see where we may have a hotspot, such as this bridge up here in northwestern Italy, where we may have lower levels of risk, perhaps in central Italy here, or where we have particular notable clusters here. So we can see, where are the potential trouble spots on a network and where we might want to invest in the future. I'm keeping it very simple here, but obviously we can dive in a lot deeper given time. So to summarize, this data is useful for many purposes. Of course, investor disclosures, regulatory disclosures, but also we want to help businesses make a real difference to their organization. We want to help them add resiliency, and we could do that as a one-time thing or an ongoing engagement whereby we improve resiliency year on year. And that can extend not just through the business assets, but can also see us look at the supply chain, look at distribution, look at other infrastructure on which a business depends, such as pipelines, railways, and roads. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Great pitch as always. Okay, so please fill the form with every question for Stuart and Jupiter Intelligence. So I invite now to take the stage Martin Schichtel. Is it correct, Martin?
That's correct. Perfect.
Okay. Really Deutsch speaking. And okay, so as soon as you're ready, you can start.
Perfect. Thanks for the intro, Alessandro. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to be here. I'm Martin, founder and CEO of Kraftblock, and I hope everybody can see my screen right now. Thumb up?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. So at Kraftblock, we developed a thermal energy storage system that helps to decarbonize vital industries, which means at the end for our customers, they can not only wave with the green flag of sustainability, but also do not lose, in best case, even save money optimizing their thermal energy systems within their plants and their factories. Means at the end, we are talking about the biggest elephant in the room, which is the heating elephant. And up to 2 years ago, nobody really cared about heating, whereas heating is responsible for roughly 50% of the carbon dioxide emissions worldwide. Industrial heating for 25%, and this percentage is still growing within the next years. So at Kraftblock, we developed a system, what we call a multifunctional high temperature energy storage system. Sounds quite complex, but it's simple. The core of it is a thermal energy storage, which can take up to 1,300 degrees C. Best usage is between 300 and 1,300 degrees C. To charge it and to discharge it, we developed a modularized system. So we can select what type of energy is available on the customer side. Is it waste heat in steel, glass, ceramic processes? Let's use it. Is it electricity to decarbonize the process fully? Let's use electricity, convert electricity to heat and store this heat into our storage device to deliver it to different applications. The same flexibility we do have on the discharging side. What type of energy is needed by the customer? Is it electricity? Is there already an existing turbine system? Let's use this. Does he need a steam in his process? Let's convert this heat to steam. So we're quite flexible in using a lot of out-of-the-shelf components for the charging and discharging side to reduce also the product risk for our customers. Beneath that, our storage system itself is modular, which means we designed 20-foot containers, which we can back up to large-scale storages using exactly the same containers. So scaling a standardized storage in order to decarbonize thermal processes is getting quite simple. We splitted our application into two systems. One is net zero heat, means let's replace fossil-fired fuels, fossil-fired systems against renewable electricity. And here it shows just the principle. We use renewable electricity, convert it in a power to heat system to heat, store it, and then we can deliver 24/7 to different applications. Different industries can be served by those purposes, whether it's food industry, pulp and paper industry, chemical industry, especially where you need steam. A similar process we already have under execution, a project with PepsiCo and Eneco in the Netherlands, where we replace a 25 megawatt gas-fired systems against this combination power to heat renewable electricity and our thermal storage device to decarbonize this plant by 98% in one single step. It's a huge system, 22 megawatt charging, 150 megawatt hour storage system, and as far as we know, it's the largest one in food industry so far. On the other hand, we do have the waste heat recycling. Waste heat recycling for us means there are existing thermal processes like in steel, glass, ceramics, cement industry, and a couple of more industries where you already have furnaces under applications. And as everybody knows who is in this business, roughly 50% of the energy can be found in the good they calcinate or they sinter or they burn, and the rest is lost as waste heat. So we try to recover the waste heat at high temperatures, not behind the flue gas purification, in front of it, to recover high temperatures, because with high grade heat, you can serve a lot of more applications than you can think of. Here are just 3 examples where we are active. The first one is already established in the production of our customer, which is in the ceramics industry. We're executing 2 projects in the steel industry, one waste heat recovery system at the Sintercooler application at Tata Steel, and the other one is to recover flare gas heat. So instead of flaring 150 gigawatt hour gas into the atmosphere, let's use it, let's fire it into our storage device and then utilize it, for example, for the steam generation internally. A project we are executing in Germany with Saarstahl. At the end, this is not possible without having a strong team. Meanwhile, the team grew up to 30 engineers. We have just finalized our B round and definitely always are looking for new applications, new pilots, and definitely customers to scale to help our customers to get more sustainable. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Martin. Okay, so we're almost at the half of our event. So 10th startup and 10th sheet of our evaluation form. So I invite on the stage Ignasi Ferrer, CEO and co-founder of Ocean EcoStruxure.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, sorry for everybody. Pleased to be here. Let me share my presentation. I guess you can see that. Can you confirm?
Yes, we can.
Great. So as I said, thanks for being here today. I'm pleased to introduce you Ocean EcoStruxure. This is a company that specialized in developing marine life regeneration systems technology. We basically deliver solutions to offset the environmental impact of marine infrastructures like offshore windmills, oil rigs, ports, and marinas, so that we turn them from great spaces to blue oases. Our solution is a combination of the latest regenerative technologies, which we call live boosting units. We'll see in a minute what is unique about it. And it's combined with some value-added services around monitoring that translate those environmental benefits into tangible socio-economical benefits for our clients. Therefore, we offset the environmental impact, but at the same time, we generate opportunities of cost reduction and revenue stream generation, therefore creating a 360 sustainable, nature-inclusive solution. What is unique of the technology is that it's natural substrate, it's multi-layer, and it's absolutely flexible. It's specifically designed for offshore, for marine infrastructures, so it's removable and very versatile. As I said, the results are extremely amazing. In just a few months, you end up having a fully functional ecosystem, fully functional habitats, and this is combined with some value-added services, monitoring, maintenance, an app, and the iOceans digital platform that brings in all the data of the environmental impact and some communication tools, and all of those end up translating the environmental benefits into tangible socioeconomic benefits for our clients. So make it, as I said before, fully sustainable. What makes the solution unique is therefore this combination of technologies, this regenerative technology with the digital technologies, the iOceans platform, and the app, and the artificial intelligence-based monitoring system, therefore providing this scalable solution. Our customers, our clients, are oil and gas, commercial ports, wind farms, and marinas. We are targeting a 2.8 billion euros market. And so far, our status is up and running. We are monetizing since we started basically 18 months ago. We've been installing the technology in over 12 ports plus an offshore platform, over 70 habitat banks, LBUs in place. We have over 200 more under negotiation, so we're expecting to grow significantly in the coming months. The digitalization progress is in progress. We are closing collaboration agreements with different strategic partners to increase and to bring in further technological upgrades and further improving the value proposition. And now we are looking for new opportunities in ports and offshore platforms to keep offsetting the impact and regenerating marine life. So what we are doing at Ocean EcoStruxures is, by the combination of technologies, creating a 360 sustainable solution for this massive ocean restoration. We've been receiving in the last few months some different programs and recognitions, like a big European project that we were awarded a few months ago, as well as Spanish Ports Authority project, and being invited to participate in several initiatives and projects like the Venice or the Blue Invest. And thank you so much for the opportunity of sharing that project with you. Please to expand wherever questions you might have. And of course, please to find new partners to develop new pilots and keep on expanding the technology. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ignasi. And next, Pyrodegrade Energy. Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, you should also be able to share your screen. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
You can see my screen?
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay, if you can change the presentation mode and then start.
Yes, my name is Brian Lawson Shiramongi, the CEO and co-founder of Pyrodegrade Energy. Pyrodegrade Energy is a Kenyan startup that is involved in the processing of plastic waste. So, as mentioned earlier, it is said that only 9% of the plastics since plastic was invented or started being consumed, we've only been able to recycle 9% of this. That's at a global level. Now, when we come down to Kenya, where I'm from, the government, the Manufacturing Association of Kenya estimates that we produce around 600,000 metric tons of plastic waste. And for that, 400,000 is what is consumed in Kenya, so to speak. And unfortunately for that, we only recycle again a little over 9% of all the 400 plastics that is produced every year. So the biggest challenge with plastic waste, other companies, Pyrodegrade, realize that the biggest problem with plastic waste management is we do not have a sustainable means of consuming the plastic waste that we produce. So we've been championing recycling, reducing, and reusing, but unfortunately, these measures are not really addressing the problem. Mainly because no matter how many times you recycle a piece of plastic or turn it to something else, it's still plastic, and at the end of the day, it will have to be disposed of. So as Pyrodegrade Energy, we researched a way to work with the plastics and convert it or turn it to something else that is completely used up and gotten rid of from the environment. That's why we realized why don't we actually reverse the process, since plastics are made from hydrocarbon chains. We can reverse the process, and from the hydrocarbon chains, we can produce petroleum products. So we produce two main products, which is Pyrodiesel. Pyrodiesel is a substitute for ordinary diesel, and Pyro HFO, which is also a substitute for ordinary heavy fuel oil that is normally used mainly for for industrial use, so for boilers and incinerators, etc. So our main target market is the highest consumers of plastic waste for production purposes, and that is the aviation sector, because they use it a lot in powering up generators that are used to power the planes and the equipment in the airports. Manufacturing industry, and because of the machinery that use a lot of diesel in production purposes, and agricultural sector, because globally irrigation is becoming the norm. Rain-fed agriculture is becoming the thing of the past. And when it comes to irrigation, most irrigation or majority of irrigation systems are diesel powered, or backup diesel powered, or hybrids of solar, but most of them are still powered by diesel fuel. So those are our three main target markets. So in Kenya, we only have two companies who are doing something close to what we do, but they both produce the heavy fuel oil variants for industrial use, because in Kenya we have a very big shortage of supply of heavy fuel oil. And the other competitor, so to speak, we can talk of is ordinary diesel fuel, and that's because our fuel is used as a biodiesel, and ordinary diesel basically more or less the same kind of product and can be used interchangeably. And a client or a consumer does not need have to make any adjustments to their engine before switching to biodiesel if they're using ordinary diesel. Okay, so ideally our business model works from a point of view where we set up a plant for a company. Most of the time, this for large producing large industries or large companies, what we can call the large scale companies. We set up a plant for you in your own location. Then using your plant, you can produce your own fuel from your own waste. And that way you're cutting your cost of production. But however, we notice that we're really there's a big chunk of the market that we're not addressing, and this is the small companies, small farmers here and there, who cannot afford to set up a plant on their own. So we decided we need to look for funding to set up now our own plant that will be able to dealing directly with ordinary consumers, as opposed to the other one that are dealing with a business to business kind of model. So that's why we're raising 500,000 USD to set up a plastic collecting and processing plant, and also now a biodiesel and pyro-HFO production plant for small scale enterprises and customers who can buy directly from us. Since the other model where we're setting up the plants, that's normally they make fuel for their own use, so it becomes hard for them to sell to the public, to the general public. So having our plant, an ordinary plant will consume up to 100,000 tons. That's from the research that we've done, because we'll find that ordinary plants in a month they'll consume around 50,000 to 100,000 liters of fuel. And to produce such kind of fuel, you need around 100 tons of plastic waste. So one company can actually consume 100 tons of plastic waste. So the more companies who are adopting this, the more plastic we're actually taking out of the environment, which is a big plus, because this is plastic that is completely eradicated from our ecosystem. Now, and then we have the 80-30 concept. The 80% is for a company that has set up their own processing plant can actually cut down their costs of purchasing fuel by 80%, because basically the only cost they're incurring is purchasing of the plastic waste. The plants that we build and design are normally self-sufficient. They actually are powered by the biodiesel that it produces. So it's a very sustainable kind of means. Now for the 30 rule, that is for the plant or for the small scale SMEs or individual customers that we can sell fuel at. These are the ones where we estimate that we can sell fuel at around 30% lower than ordinary fuel. But that's at the same time. But other than getting the fuel at a lower cost, you also have joy of knowing that the fuel you're consuming had a positive impact on the environment, so to speak. Because ideally, most of this plastic waste would have ended up being burnt in the dump site, being burnt or being thrown away, which has, especially with the burning of the plastic waste, the emission levels is even higher than emission levels from, say, cars or machine or some kind of machinery. Yeah, and then the last step is closing the loop, because it's really important that we try and rethink the way we've been dealing with plastic waste. It's not enough to say we recycle, we reuse, because at the end of the day, we have to accept the fact that this plastic will eventually have to be thrown away somewhere. So it's paramount that we start taking more action on measures that actually address end-of-life plastic waste. So we are a team of four co-founders. Myself, the CEO. Then there's Aaron, who's the CTO. There's Ruth, who's the head of quality control, and Thaddeus, who's the head of engineering and also the head of the plant. So right now we're currently in the process of a pilot that we're doing with Kenya Airways, where we're setting up a factory for them to produce fuel for their own use, and we're starting in a plant that have a capacity of producing 1,000 liters per day. So after that, the next step is to set up our own plant that will be able to cater for the market and the general public at large. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you very much. Sorry you were running a bit late, so I was trying to interrupt you, but you closed it perfectly. Okay, thank you again. So questions for Brian and Pyrodegrade Energy, please, at the end of the form. So I invite Nicola Rubini, Business Development and Clustering Manager at River Cleaning.
I'm here. Thank you, Alessandro.
Hi, Nicola. Okay, perfect. Now you can share your screen.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Do you see my presentation?
Yes. Let's go.
Okay, perfect. Let's get into full screen mode and we're done. Okay. So greetings, everyone. I'm Nicola, Business Development and Clustering Manager for Molt's innovative project, River Cleaning. So let's jump straight into it. So first of all, simple questions. Why do we even need river cleaning? Now, the first answer is we've spoken before of plastic pollution, and we have a similar argument. We start from a similar problem, which is plastic pollution, but in rivers. And rivers are quite important in the distribution of plastic pollution. They are far more polluted than we think. And it is no mystery that they play a key role in the distribution of plastic pollution from inland areas to oceans and seas, acting as plastic reservoirs and connecting ecosystems, people, and human activities. Plus, we know we produce a lot of plastic products, and in most cases, these products end up where we do not need them, which is in the environment, and that is a literal waste of resources. The second answer is we need to improve our commitment if we want to stick to 2030 and 2050 agendas. And the current benchmark needs improvement, as it is dominated by non-profit organizations, which are limited by fundraising campaigns and niche technologies that have reduced possibilities for scaling. So, having said that, what is river cleaning and how does it function? Let me show that with a brief video to you. So river cleaning is a smart barrier which traps floating and semi-submerged waste in every type of flowing water. Now, it has a modular design, as you will see shortly in the video, which makes assembly and transportation very easy. It is made of these single floating modules anchored to an overall structure. And the secret of its efficiency is that the spinning motion of each of these modules is powered by the water itself, as you can see, and does not need any energy. So this way, the system does not simply retain the waste which is floating in rivers, but it funnels it laterally towards a collection cage, which is located at the very side of the river. And from that point, the litter can be easily collected, sorted, recycled, and transformed, of course. So we design every system separately because it is very important to acknowledge that every river and location have their specific needs, and we can equip the systems with additional features such as remote control, automation, and energy generation array. So very simple up until now, but what do you need to use a river cleaning system? Well, quite simply, you need to place it in strategic areas and start harvesting results. Now, with 95% retention of litter, we can guarantee an easy stock of material and visibly less pollution. You can guarantee key synergies with waste management activities leading to additional jobs, and also economic benefits to public and private players which are directly affected by pollution. That is not all. We strongly encourage to build on the river cleaning system you installed, and this means monitor the litter, provide the data, foster research, and engage communities and empower them through citizen science activities. We validated a three-headed impact certified business model through B2G, B2B, and ESG investments options. Now we're very young as players in the market. We just started commercialization this year, but as we receive requests for installation very frequently, mostly from Southeast Asia, India, and Latin America, we're looking now for a corporate partner in order to leverage capacity and to accelerate the scale-up process. We are born local, but we aim to solve a global challenge. So to conclude, we founded River Cleaning to enable a technological revolution on how we save rivers, and we will continue to strive for a change in this perspective and for the future in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nicola, and wish the best, of course, for this amazing solution. So next, so I invite to the stage Francesca Renzi, CEO of Safer Places.
Francesca, hello, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, presentation mode, and then we can start.
Yes, so good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here presenting Safer Places, an AI-based digital twin solution for flood risk intelligence in urban areas. When we started, we had this question in our mind: are our cities ready to face the next flood event? Unfortunately, recent events such as those of the last fall in the Marke region or in Pakistan shows that we are not. Instead, they highlight the need for innovative tools and proper knowledge to prevent economic losses and save human lives. So we believe that the key to build climate resilient city is what we call flood risk intelligence, meaning flood hazard and damage maps at high resolution for either past, current, or future climate scenarios to support adaptation and mitigation, parametric insurance schemes, but also to comply with flood risk disclosure regulations. Our solution is a digital twin of the city characterized by three main pillars. Firstly, high-resolution geospatial, satellite, and climate open data, which are integrated automatically to build the different layers of the city digital twin. Then we have artificial intelligence model and fast algorithm for flood hazard and damage assessment. And finally, we exploit the power of a scalable and elastic cloud computing infrastructure to map flood risk in a cost-effective way at high resolution with global coverage, simulating in real time different climate scenarios and mitigation measures
for a resilient city and for supporting early warning. Our solution is already covering the whole globe, and it can be easily activated for any city of interest with 5 easy steps guided by a wizard. An example is the case study of Parco del Mare, a green-based sea promenade regeneration project aimed at preventing and mitigating coastal flood risk in the city of Rimini. Safer Places supported the municipality to design the park, to assess its mitigation effect, and also to perform a cost-benefit analysis to quantify the avoided damages. Our story started in 2018 with an EIT Climate Kick funded research project in partnership with European universities, research centers, and SMEs. We now have a global platform operative globally, the first 3 paying customers, and various proof of concept under discussions. Last year, we succeed in terms of grant for continuing the technical development and product improvement. We participated in 3 accelerator programs, and we succeed in winning the Italian prize for the Copernicus Master, which is dedicated to innovation in the space sector. We count on an experienced team of engineers, climate and data scientists, and IT and business developers, with the extra support of external mentors in the field of hazard and risk assessment. Concerning the business model, we offer flexibility, so to satisfy the need of variety of customers, and we go from a limited use of the platform to one-time request of data, of static data. We aim to sell 2,000 licenses in the next 6 years, which will lead to 27 million euros of net profit. And concerning the next step, we are aiming to collect 1.5 million euros to fund mostly the business development, the marketing activity, and the client acquisition. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, we are available.
Thank you very much, Francesca. So see you soon with all the questions. I'm sure we will collect. And so I invite the next startup, Valeran, Alexander Skies, Business Development Lead. Can you hear me?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I will share my screen.
Are you able to do that? You disappeared. Okay, seems Alex left. So let's wait 1 second. Okay, joining again. Okay, Alex, I'm assigning you the host.
Hi there, apologies.
Okay,
Just
perfect.
Kicked me out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes, sorry. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present. We are Valeran. We are a software as a service company who power data driven by insight. So what Valeran does is we are an AI company that focuses on IT industry, and we allow road operators to leverage their data and make better decisions from those data. So help you to build trust in that data, make decisions based on certainty, and allow you to empower yourselves to respond via that data to make better decisions for roads. We understand as a company that obviously road operations, there's hundreds and thousands of different data points that come in, objects that are being detected, vehicles, weather, events, things like that. And all of that creates noise around data, and noise is not that helpful. There's loads of data that comes in, social media, ITS, connected vehicles, and road operators have to rely on manual tools in order to get the job done. And Valoran is there to help build that trust gap between those two things. So the data that you're receiving and the manual tools, we allow you to build that trust gap and ensure that the data that you're using, the data that you are leveraging, is providing you the right tools that you need. We allow you to detect what is happening. We allow you to validate and prioritize that, and also connect and manage to the network. We know that, to build that trust, there are things you need to do through integration of different data points, analyzing those data points. We then have a unique fusion engine, which brings all of that together and then gives you the ability to action that through automation, sending things out to social media and other avenues. So what does Valoran do? So Valoran is able to build a map layer of road assets, mapping things like toll booths, bridges, tunnels, and then connecting to data sources such as Waze, so understanding where there might be roadworks or hazards on the road. Providing machine vision through cameras, so identifying things like pedestrians in the road or stopped vehicles. Overlaying onto that any weather data sources, so helping you to identify where there might be instances of rain or fog, and then also providing fused traffic, so roadside sensors that show data such as where speed is, where there's traffic jams, where there's congestion. And what we then do is provide a fused risk analysis of that, provide insights and actions. So for example, you have a road at the 20-mile marker that is showing roadworks, there's pedestrians, there's a bit of rain and there's slow speed. So our model is telling you that there's high risk of a congestion. The insight is we know that there's roadworks, so therefore there's nothing that your operators need to do. Whereas in a separate area, if there's a hazard on the road, we can see that there's stopped vehicles, there's a slight fog, we know there's a traffic jam. The fused risk is telling you that it's high. The insight is telling you that there's been a major accident. Therefore, we recommend to you that you dispatch your patrols. And this allows operators in control centers that manage major roads or urban areas to be able to better manage that road network, manage that environment, and manage that urban area. We've been operating since 2016. We are in now 8 different countries across Europe, Latin America, and North America. We are raising funds at the minute. So we have so far raised $25 million and are looking to raise further so that we can, further encroach our product into the market. This is our unique interface. So an example of a road in Chile, you can see there that it's mapped the road, it's mapped the points, it's showing you how traffic is flowing, it's showing you with those red markers where there are incidents. And then on the left-hand side, you can see here where different types of incidents are occurring and what your operators may want to respond to. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. Very good presentation. Okay, so for questions regarding Valoran, of course, use this our form. And so next, Agora Technologies from Canada. Finally, Christina Genge. Is it correct, the pronunciation? I'm sorry for that.
Yes, Genge. Thank
Almost.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Alessandro. I will share my screen now.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So just a second. Okay, so my name is Christina Genge. As Alessandro pointed out, I'm a co-founder and CEO of Agora Energy Technologies, and we are an innovation company at the intersection of energy and decarbonization. So we are a company really with an eye on the future of how we can connect CO2 emission with clean energy generation. And as a company, we are located here in Vancouver, Canada. We started with a clear mission to be an electrochemical company that pioneers engineering carbon sink platforms And our first development, and still one of the most sizable today, is the development of the world's first non-metal, large-scale, long-duration CO2 redox flow battery. So let's look at emissions today. So we are emitting 40 billion tons of year of CO2 today. That led us to declare the climate emergency. So this cumulative effect, of course, will create a humanitarian and ecological disaster. But why don't we cast an eye into the future? So what if we can use this CO2 to create really valuable system transformations and to make it to become a raw material? For instance, if I can use your imagination, what if 1 ton of CO2 can generate the street electricity of Paris for 5 minutes? Or what if we can provide from 1 ton of CO2 a driving range of 9,000 kilometers in an EV? For our Italian friends, this would be Milan to Bari and return 4 times a year, which is quite sizable. So if this looks like science fiction, the role of startups today is to transform really this science fiction into the science of tomorrow. That's what we do at Agora. We repurpose carbon dioxide to provide clean energy solutions. And we have 2 clusters. One is the CO2 capture cluster of technology that can be direct air capture or flue gas. And the second one, the one that I mentioned before and we started with, is the CO2 utilization component. What differentiates us is that we want to keep this balance of looking at CO2 as a material that has to be mitigated from a liability to a profitable product. And I will demonstrate how our CO2 utilization unit would work to lead to a $500 per ton of CO2 utilized. So basically, we have a battery system that is charging by eating, breathing CO2 and storing renewable. And discharging, of course, like any other battery, releases clean electricity. If we take a look inside, this battery is designed on a system based on a flow battery, where you have a central unit that gives the power of the battery, and external tanks deliver the energy desired. So the 2 are decoupled. Inside the battery, if we have a cross-section, we have modules that each of them have a certain power. So we can scale up in a Lego fashion these batteries. And for the record, these flow batteries, we are talking between 5 to hundreds of megawatts power. So it's an industrial size battery. Within a module, we have this component here of stacking cells, and this is where we are working at present. So basically increasing the power and the size of these particular modules. We actually went a step further. In addition to generated electricity during discharge, releasing clean electricity during discharge, we also produce chemical commodities, such as sodium or potassium carbonates, which has a very high market value. So by doing this, we created a very modular, scalable system, but we also made it profitable. It is the combination of the 2 outputs that gives us this value at the end. And just for a number to remember, each ton of CO2 can generate 1.6 megawatt hour of energy. And this is how the 4 times round trip from Milan to Bari is possible. Of course, this is a unique system. We have 54 granted patents globally for a new battery system. And part of it was the development of each and every component inside the battery, from unique catalysts to unique gas diffusion electrodes, because this is a solid gas liquid battery, And now we are basically, as I mentioned before, in the stage where we increase the sizes of these modules. We try to make it as compact as possible to reach a value of 5 kilowatts. Now, 5 kilowatts would be a module in a battery. So in a Lego fashion, we can build them to the capacity we want. Our business model is to scale it up and deploy it with JV partners. And the deployment can be done in 2 separate spaces, either CO2 space or individually in the energy storage space. So who are our customers? Cement manufacturers, steel manufacturers, glass manufacturers. So basically all the industrial conglomerates that emit CO2 or need the commodities we produce. We are opening now a new round. It's a Series A, $10 million. And the purpose of this is to really scale up to 5 kilowatts. Of course, no company can function without powerful teams. So we have a one-of-a-kind system. We try to have a one-of-a-kind team with selective individuals. And for the past few years, for this novel system that has the potential to create a system transformation, we were the recipients of multiple global awards, and we are very proud of our achievements. So thank you, and I hope I demonstrated you in a nutshell that creating the future that we wanted, creating impact, doesn't necessarily preclude having a very profitable system and technology through the power of innovation. And please ask any questions you might have in the chat or separately. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Really enlightening. Thank you very much. And now, so let's get underwater for a second and try to connect Venice and Massachusetts. And Emre Demiros for Hydronet, co-founder of Hydronet, will explain us how we can connect underwater. Emre?
Hey, Alessandro. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, perfectly. Can you share your screen?
Yes, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my slides?
Yes, let's go. Thank you.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Emre Demiros. I'm the CDO and the co-founder of Hydronet. It's a pleasure today to introduce Hydronet, a startup that is looking to be an enabler and disruptor for the blue economy by bringing the internet underwater. Oops. Okay, so what's the problem that we're trying to solve? Today, if you need to connect different things underwater, assuming that you don't want to deploy cables, which is expensive and time consuming, you have a problem. The traditional radio frequency wireless technologies, what you use with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or your cell phone, don't work underwater. And this is just physics. Radio frequency waves are absorbed by the water. As a consequence, our seas, oceans, or Venice, which constitutes 71% of the surface of our planet, are unconnected and very difficult to observe. This limits the growth of the blue economy. Today, we do not have 21st century wireless underwater internet. There is no modern software-defined modems. Subsea connectivity is very limited by speed, range, reliability, and as a consequence, we are unable to monitor the oceans, collect data, take smart decisions based on this data. We are missing the interface between the oceans or the water mediums and the digital world, what in the terrestrial world we call the Internet of Things. Hydronet mission is to bring the internet underwater and empower the underwater internet with AI-driven software-defined technologies. Let's talk a little bit about our technology. The building block of our technology is the Hydronet wideband modular modem, developed with around $5 million in funding from the US government, specifically from DARPA. It's the basis of the first and only, to the best of our knowledge, software-defined underwater networking technology. It can realize Wi-Fi and mesh networks with ultrasonic, acoustic, and optical waves, which propagate much better in water than radio frequency waves. It's based on our fully programmable platform that enables in-water communication, sensing, and AI processing and analytics. HydroNet is not a point-to-point technology. It is a networking technology that can create Wi-Fi or mesh networks, provide high transmission rates, for example, to stream video underwater, is fully programmable, virtualized, and with more flexibility in serving diverse application and needs, and with the capability to perform AI-powered algorithms for inference and control of these networks. HydroNet will enable, for the first time, underwater networks for static and moving assets. Looking at the typical applications, thanks to the HydroNet modular design or short-range distances, we expect to have performance comparable to the optical links. On medium-range links, we expect to have 20 times faster than existing commercial devices and 8 times faster on long-range links, which is above 1 kilometer. And by the way, our technology works. We tested it in the swimming pools in Boston Harbor and in Narragansett Bay with the Naval Underwater Warfare Center of US Navy. Here's a short video clip from our underwater wireless video streaming conducted in Boston Harbor. Our technology is protected by 7 patent families, 6 of which have already been granted, and we believe we will be ready to sell our software-defined modems in this summer after a few weeks of final testing that we are doing at this point. Here is a summary of how HydroNet technology compares to the existing underwater communication technologies. In short, it uniquely provides higher data rates, fully programmable networks, and AI-powered algorithms running on device, edge, and cloud. Just like internet created new applications that nobody could conceive before, HydroNet will be an enabler of new markets in the blue economy. Examples include environmental monitoring, monitoring of offshore equipment, and aquaculture to solve seafood deficit. Also, defense and underwater robotics and smart ports and shipyards are some other applications that will benefit from our technology. Our team includes scientists, proven entrepreneurs, and senior experts in the industry. We're funded by DARPA, Blue Swell, NSAN, Rue Institute, and we work with Navy and others. We are HydroNet. We are enabling the blue economy through the most efficient, scalable, and secure software-defined platform for real-time, high-speed data communication underwater. Thank you. I'll be happy to have any questions send it to us. And thank you, Alessandro, for having this.
Thank you, Emrican. Thank you very much. Great presentation and solution. Okay, so next, almost our last but not least, 2 startups. So first, Mirna Bittner from RWEY Synthetics, founder and CEO. Hi, Mirna.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? Fine, thank you. Okay. Yeah, perfect.
I'll get going. Good afternoon. My name is Mirna Bittner, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Run With It Synthetics, coming to you from Western Canada. The way we look at the transition to a cleaner, more sustainable world is by helping people understand the complex configurations of investments that need to be made and actually enable them to dial forward those configurations and generate the data they need to quantify those futures and assess the choices. The reason why we exist is that we're really facing an increasingly complex number of unprecedented events and conditions, an enormous array of new technologies, some that exist, some that we need to exist and that are anticipated. And we're in this environment in growing cities. So with complex urban environments, diverse stakeholders, and we need to be able to pull together to achieve the targets that we're all facing. And to do this, we need new tools. So it's not good enough to have reports and graphs and charts to make decisions. We actually need these dynamic tools, and we need to be able to look at complex living environments of cities that are connected ways and looking at people and policy and technology and infrastructure and exploring all of those connections rapidly under a variety of different contexts. The way we generate our what we call synthetic twins or synthetic cities is to be able to build a living model of population. So hyper-localized, accurate models of people, their lives and livelihoods, their preferences, their choices. And we can do this in great detail with only publicly available data. So we build a never identified but living lab population. And that population can look at and examine the behaviors and responses of people today, as well as anticipated changes in behaviors and responses in the cities of tomorrow. And how we do this is through a process, the first process of our technology, which is convergence and helping people to think synthetically. So in our environments, we bring together all kinds of diverse expertise, data, research, existing expert models, and we begin to connect those. So we can look at them in one place and we can dial forward. We can model any types of attributes in the population, natural, built environments, like I say, new technologies, transportation networks, communications, etc., and begin to see how the city functions as a whole. And then the most exciting part in a synthetic twin is we can augment reality. So we look at it as a series of knobs and levers that we can adjust to come to understand how things interconnect and what emergent behavior looks like as we introduce new events or new technologies. We can look at cities that grow. So we often look at planning for the future, density, infill, consumption patterns, behavior, transportation networks. We can look at the introduction of new technologies, hydrogen blending, for example, and understand in great detail. So in every home, built environment envelope, what that changes in terms of emissions. We can do workforce planning. So we're working in regions of the world that are planning for massive phasing of new technologies and decarbonized technologies and what that means for building up the appropriate workforce. And the really key part of this is being able to see it. So on the other side of our technology, our deep advanced simulation technology is a visualization platform that allows us to look into what do earthquakes look like. This was Silicon Valley for the Industrial IoT World Expo. So they were looking at earthquakes and smart technologies. We look at energy technologies, distributed energy resources, as well as grids. We help them anticipate and prepare for disaster. We look at new technologies, new infrastructure, even new policy around pedestrian safety for transportation networks across the world. We look at fire, emergency egress, for example, scenarios, so we can map different opportunities to add infrastructure in communities and understand population response in all different types of scenarios and help them assess which ones are the best to invest in. And these are all using the same synthetic models of the cities. So this is in Nashville. They're looking at high-risk events around cold snaps and how they introduce investments into sustainable technology, so distributed energy resources, and the role that plays in community resilience for disadvantaged populations. Again, an energy focus, but also safety and security. This was looking at coronal mass ejection events across the Western US with the sun to grid community. So looking at space weather data and how that can be used to mitigate grid resources. We have a fantastic team that's diverse. We're a certified Aboriginal business in Canada, and we specialize in our platform, and our customers come to us with their special applications. We're in an international award-winning platform. So one of our favorite awards was with the United Nations for decarbonizing growing urban environments. And thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Please reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you, Mirna. Pleasure for us. Also model as always. Okay, so let's go to our last, but not least for real startup, Reco2, Luca Spiridigliozzi, co-founder and CTO. Hi, Luca.
Nice to meet you all. I will share my screen.
Yes, thank you.
Just tell me if you can see my
perfectly.
screen. Okay.
Yes.
So my name is Luca Spiridigliozzi. I'm a co-founder and CTO of Resio2. That is a startup dealing with industrial waste and transforming into innovative materials for green building. In particular, we have a unique process based on chemical activation that that allows us to produce new materials with low impact, reducing CO2 emissions compared to alternatives like concrete and ceramic-based conventional materials with the same and comparable mechanical characteristics. In particular, Vitrium, that is our first commercial available product, is an outdoor flooring material that can be shaped in different forms, in particular in the forms of San Pietrino, that is a typical Italian outdoor flooring. And our Vitrium is made of up to 100% of recycled industrial waste that is chemically transformed with our unique process. Some numbers about the characteristics. We have a product that has a high mechanical compression resistance and high mechanical flexural strength, with resistance also with frost cycles. And we have a patent that covers all the industrial process needed to produce Vitrium and also to produce other similar materials for different applications. In general, the patent covers 3 areas. So the mix of secondary raw materials, that is the solid mixture, the range of chemical composition and the nature of chemical activator, this is a liquid one, and all the processing steps needed to produce the Vitrium and similar products. So the main strengths of ReCO2 in general, of course, are our patented process, our chemical activation that is different from the thermal activation of alternatives and conventional materials, the possibility of use up to 100% of secondary raw materials with a unique feature in the Italian market at the moment. Then we have the process temperatures that are always below 80 degrees C compared to the ceramic and concrete based material that goes in the production over than 1000 degrees C. So this allows us to reduce the CO2 emission compared to such conventional materials of up to 90% and the energy consumption of up 80%. And also we have the versatility of the process because it can be used with different mixes to produce different final application other than outdoor pavings, like such as, for example, thermal insulation panels or also indoor tiles. Our business model is the outsourcing production. Sorry for the audio, but this is a real video of our production. Maybe I can stop the audio. But actually, we are producing through an industrial partner that with a model that can be developed and doubled and multiplied, because we have a total production cost of let's say 10-12 euros per square meter, and our actual production capacity is 500 square meter per day. With this cost, we comprehend everything about the personnel, industrial machinery, logistics, energy, and raw materials. The main cost is logistics, but we can solve this problem also by using producers near to the application site. The sales, we have a sales price starting from 25 euros per square meters. That is comparable, just slightly higher than the conventional products, because we have to distinguish from other products in terms of sustainability. And also we can grant a very high added value from our products because the sale price is double than the production cost. We can sell products to real estate development, to builders, or public administration. We can see in this photo just one example of our application in a municipal villa inside Latium, Frosinone, that is the city near Rome. And we all have the reference market that is a sustainable building sector that is constantly growing, and there are some projections that the overall market of sustainable construction by 2027 will reach almost 200 billion euros. And just in the market of outdoor flooring sector, just in Italy, we have an annual value of market of 7 billion euros. So we have more capacity. Here there's some confrontation, but I will go quickly with our milestones. We have the first production plant with first deal in 2022. Then one of the example of our realization is the Villa Comunale of Frosinone. And recently, in the last part of 2022, we have a co-innovation project with Eni Joule that allows us to use our products for their site and Roma Ostiense gasometro, realized with the Vitrum as flooring. And at the end of the project, we are planning to be one of the suppliers of Eni services. I will conclude with the theme. We are the four founders, Daniele, Desiree, Tommaso, and Luca, and me. Me and Desiree, we are industrial engineers. I have a PhD in material science. Then we have an expert in logistics management, and our CEO, this is an expert in business administration. Then we have two advisors, one that is a technical advisor that has more than 40 years of experience in the field of ceramics. He has a former director of a Marazzi plant here in Lazio. Then we have Jacopo Mele, that is a strategy advisor that is a general partner of Moonstone Analyst Venture Capital and a member of scientific committee of Univerde. And last but not least, what we are searching about funding, actually we are searching for a seed of 300K. We are in search of a lead investor because we have some follower investors that will give us 100K, mainly to increase sales and human resources and R&D during the next year. And thank you very much. We are also, just to conclude, we are also looking for other corporate partners to make other co-innovation projects to test our products on the market. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you very much. For sure, you will find you around. And so, unfortunately, we are at the end of this event. So I would like to thank you so much for participating to our 2022 Co-Innovation Program Demo Day. So I would like to thank, of course, our partners, Eni with Joule, Enel, Cisco, Mundys, and Snam, without whom this event and this program, of course, wouldn't be possible. I'd also like to thank all, let's say, our ecosystem, so mentors, and the investors and companies participating today and presenting at this demo day. So I really hope you enjoyed the event and you keep following the Venezia activities. And right after, we'll collect all the questions through your forms, and we'll talk with startups and arrange a meeting together and the next steps together. And so thank you again. And thank you, of course, to our team and Professor Carlo Bagnoli first and Claudio Colombo for making this real. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for
Bye.
participation.
Thanks,
everyone. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.